We just disconnect the data because I don't care about it. All righty then. Welcome everybody. We are going to have some fun today. I should probably just jump right into this because I don't know how long exactly this is going to take to do. Shouldn't be all that long, but let's see. What I'm going to be doing today, I am going to actually just build a bot. Since nobody has been really posting in the pit with like, I'm having this question or this issue or this problem figuring out how to do X, Y, or Z. And given that I've got a class on doing exactly this coming up, I figured, what better opportunity to give a kind of a sneak preview of what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be building in that class, as well as actually building something that I know gets talked about a lot in here. So we are going to be using what I'm calling a framework. I mean, that's just what I'm calling it. It's not like that's some formal official title or anything, but we're going to be using the bot framework that I'm putting together for said upcoming class. And I'm just going to be dropping it on this chart here in a minute. Right now, all this is a footprint. That's it. It's a stock. Well, it's not stock anymore. It's obviously heavily customized to my tastes, but it's just a study collection. I have JVC footprint pink. I drop it on here and bam, everything is ready to go. So that's what we have. We have a 30-minute footprint here. You know what I do want though? I want a little bit more space at the top and bottom. So let's make it 5%. There we go. I don't like my numbers butting right up against the bottom and top edges. So what I'm thinking of doing is building something that is utterly stupid, but I endorse everybody doing. This is something that comes up a lot in TRG. In particular, I mean, mostly amongst newer people to TRG, because if you've been around TRG any length of time, obviously you figure out pretty quick that this is not the way. And that is, we're going to build a fade every price rejector bot. Because we typically get new people in TRG. Pardon me while I crash into my other microphone. We get newer people in TRG who come in and they discover these amazing miracle signal patterns, and they think, oh well, a price rejector means go the other way. You get a price rejector, you buy it at the bottom and you sell it at the top. And of course, as Lee is always admonishing people, price rejectors are not trading signals. They are not a signal to do anything. They're just information about the order flow at a particular spot. That's it. So you don't just fade them. And because of that, because I know a lot of people, that doesn't make sense because they're thinking, but it's a price rejector. It's going to reject price. So of course you should always fade price rejectors. Doesn't that just make sense? So I have many, many times encouraged people, do that. Fade every price rejector. It is a fantastic exercise. I strongly encourage it. Pop open I like 30-minute. I think doing it on like a 5-minute or a 1-minute is pretty silly for reasons which I would imagine are obvious, but they're going to happen way too frequently. But a 30-minute price rejector, fade every single one. Or for the 30-minute footprint, rather, fade every single price rejector, I think is a fantastic exercise because you will so quickly discover, oh, yeah, I get why these are not signals to do anything. It becomes ridiculously obvious really fast. So it's a great exercise. So I suggest doing that. Of course, you can do it manually. You can just fire up a replay and sit there and just trade, or you can go the automated route and build a bot to do that. And that's, of course, much more effective, much more efficient if you want to get some data on what is the success rate of this, quote unquote strategy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build a bot that just fades every freaking price rejector in a 30-minute or whatever time frame, really, but we're going to use a 30-minute footprint. So to do that, we are going to start with my bot framework that I was just talking about. So I'm just going to pop open the framework, JVC TA bot framework. Here it is. I do not want to clear my studies because I want to keep my footprints. Actually, no, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna actually remove the framework now. I'll put it back in a second because there's one thing I'm going to do first, which is right now, if I add something here, no. If I add something here, it's going to add at number 2, right? It's just going to be the very next ID in line. I don't want that. I want it to add it maybe not starting at number 10. I just want to have some breathing room in terms of my ID numbers. I'm just, call it OCD, whatever. I'm not OCD, but call it what you will. I like to do things in a very orderly fashion. And so since I'm not just completely just ad hoc building something on the fly that I've never done before, and I'm just, charging away with some crazy, wild hair idea, I'm going to take a moment to do something a little bit right, which is I'm just going to add, it could be any study. I'm going to add this 1 divided by price because it's just the first study that's listed. I'm going to add it. Whoops, I added one too many. I'm going to add it up to number 9 so that the next stuff I add goes in at number 10. I'm going to hit apply because otherwise these numbers don't actually, or these studies don't actually get applied, and it will remove them when I add the framework. So here it is, TA framework. I'm going to hit load, clear studies, no. And now there you go. My framework starts at ID 10, which is what I wanted. Now I'm going to remove all those that I added. Now I've got some breathing room. So if I added something like, I don't know, advanced decline line, if I add that, it's going to go at ID 2. Which is what I want. So I've got any other IDs that I add will be number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's my framework. This is all stock Sierra chart stuff. Every single thing here is just a built-in stock Sierra chart study. I've just taken the time to add them all in a sensible order, given them sensible names. I've configured them all correctly. They're ready to go. I just drop them in and off we go. And so I can just start focusing on, all right, well, what are the signals I want to feed this thing? This text is a little small. Let's go ahead and go into, actually, hang on. What chart settings am I on? Am I on? Whoops, no, it's not what I meant to do. Chart graphic settings. There we go. We're using global. Actually, that's fine. We'll use global. It's just real quick. Graphic settings, global, make my font bigger. Let's make it like, maybe even 16 point. Yeah, that's better. It's more readable. Great. All right. So I'm just going to put this down here. All right. There we are. So we're going to be fading every price rejector, which means we got to build price rejectors. Obviously, Lee sells some fantastic studies through Emoji Trading, which do this kind of thing automatically for you, and with a whole hell of a lot more features, all kinds of bells and whistles, and tracking them over time, and flipping colors, and all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to build a really super duper duper, call it ghetto version of a price rejector. It is brainless. It has no intelligence. It has no historical tracking. It has very little. It is just literally a label, that a price rejector happened. In fact, I'm not even actually going to do a label. It's just going to be code that the bot can pick up on. But to do that, let me actually see. Do we have see, that bar is too small. Hold on. Let me actually, connect to the feed here. And if we don't happen to have the right circumstances at the current bar, then I'll start a replay, and so we get them just so we can see it. Come on, download. Why are you waiting? There we go. All right. What do we got? We have a price rejector at the bottom. Yes. All right. Great. Disconnect. Quick. All right. There we go. So we have a price rejector down here. Whoops. Now, in the chat, I'm gonna make you all engage a little bit here. So, what are the 3 things we need for a price rejector? All right. Pop quiz. Who can name the 3 things that are required for a price rejector? Or if you know one of them, throw that out. But throw them in the chat. What 3 things do we need to know that we have a price rejector? Exhaustion. Okay. Yes, Lee. Okay, so Greg, yes, exhaustion. Now, Greg, you're newer to TRG, I believe. If I'm wrong, apologies, but I haven't seen your name around a whole lot, so I think you're newer. So exhaustion, you are correct. Specifically, get a little bit more specific on exhaustion. What exhaustion are we looking for? I see David has joined us. So David, since you just popped in, the question is, I'm posing this to everybody who's here, what are the 3 things we need to know in order to know if we have a price rejector? Because we're building a bot that is going to fade every price rejector in a bar. So what 3 things do we need to know for a price rejector? Come on, especially the TRG folks here who have been here for quite some time. This should be instant. You should know this immediately. This is such day 1 level knowledge. You've got to know this at this point. What 3 things do we need to know for a price rejector? All right, aggression from the other side, decreasing volume to 0. Yes, okay, so finished, correct. There you go. Finished auction. That's the 0 on one of the sides. So, I won't force you to explain that in more detail, but a finished auction, decreasing volume. And this is, Greg said exhaustion, and you were correct, Greg, it's exhaustion, but specifically exhaustion over the final 3 levels of the bar, which is, just declining volume, and then opposing aggression. And we have that right here on this price rejector here. We have 769, 279, 62. We have a finished auction. So there's our exhaustion. there's our finished auction, and here's our opposing aggression. So we have price rejector right there. So those are the three things. We need the exhaustion, we need the opposing aggression, we need the finished auction. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to do that in Notepad++, which is in the NPP folder in Sierra Chart. There we go. NPP, Notepad++. Okay, so Notepad++. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's pop Sierra Chart over here, and we'll pop Notepad over here. There we go. All right, so to create a price rejector in an alert formula, this is alert formula syntax because this is going to be going into specifically the entry signal long and entry signal short studies of the framework, which are just color background based on alert condition. Right, so they're going to go here, which means I can use indented stuff. It can be nice and pretty. So what we need to know, first of all, we're going to do an and. So I'm just going to put those in there because we're going to be looking at multiple criteria. So by definition, we know we're going to have an and. I'm going to indent so that we have nicely laid out things. And I'm going to just start doing stuff. So first thing we need to do is we need to know we have a finished auction. Okay, so at the low, we have on the ask side a volume of 0, right? So that means the ask volume at price at the low of the current bar, which is the 0, is going to be equal to 0. That was easy. Okay, great. That's done. Now, we need to make sure that we have some volume at the bottom level because if we don't specify that, and by the way, there needs to be volume on the bid, then it's going to consider levels that have nothing, which would be bad. It's going to get very confused. So we're going to go bid volume at price at the low of the current bar is greater than 0. All right, there we have our finished auction right there. Now we're going to do opposing aggression, just because that's easy to identify. Opposing aggression is the ask volume at the low plus a tick, right? One tick off the low is greater than the bid volume at the low. Okay, cool. Ask volume at price at the low plus tick size, which remember is an internal Sierra Chart variable for whatever the tick size is. And so you definitely want to use that and not 0.25, because if you use 0.25, then you can't use this on any other instrument without going and rejiggering all your formulas, which is really obnoxious. But if you use the variable, then it adapts to whatever your instrument tick size is, which is what you want. At the current bar is greater than the bid volume at price at the low of the current bar. There we go. There's our opposing aggression, comma. Next line. Now exhaustion. Now exhaustion's a little bit more work because we've got to deal with 3 levels. This level has to be bigger than this level, and this level has to be bigger than this level. So that means the bid volume at price, a tick off the low, needs to be greater than the bid volume at price at the low. The bid volume of price 2 ticks off the low needs to be greater than the bid volume at price 1 tick off the low. Okay, pretty straightforward. Yes, that's correct. Plus 1 tick size is saying go up 1 tick from the low price. Exactly right. Low plus tick size. 1 tick above the low. Exactly. So what I can do is I can say, all right, well, now we're dealing only in bids, right? So I can say BVAP at the low plus, now this time I want to do 2 ticks, right? So I'm going to start at the third tick. So we're going to go tick size. I could do, tick size plus, tick size times 2. However, if I do that, then what we're going to get is the low plus 2 ticks. So the low is whatever it is, 46.99. That is going to equal to 46.99 plus a tick. So 46.99 quarter times 2. So we're going to get 9,000 whatever, right? That's not going to work. So what we need to do is throw these in parentheses. Now we'll get the low plus 2 ticks. That's what we want. So I want the low 2 ticks. BVAP at the low plus 2 ticks needs to be greater than the BVAP at the low plus 1 tick, which is just plain old tick size. Oops, hello. I put a comma in there. Didn't mean to do that. Plus tick size at the current bar. Oh, and I forgot the of the current bar over here. My bad. There we go. So there we have 2 ticks up is greater than 1 tick up. That's what we want. Now we want 1 tick up, so that'll be low plus tick size. Current bar is greater than BVAP at the low of the current bar. There we go. And I always throw an extra comma on the last item. Technically, I don't need to because it's the last item. The last item is always able to not have the comma. I always put the comma there because then that way, if I want to add another thing, I don't have to worry about I'm missing a comma and then the formula breaks and it's just all, annoying. So that should do it. That should be a price rejector at the low. Let's see if it is. We'll go in here. We'll go ahead and go into entry signal. Actually, this will be entry signal. Oh, yeah, entry signal along. What am I saying? Yeah, price rejector at the low because we're fading. So let's just paste it in here and see what we get. Whoa, we get, okay, that was weird. Sierra chart decided to recalculate. Well, there it is. Price rejector there. So we got price rejectors at the low all over the place. Beautiful. Now, I don't really care about seeing it historically. I mean, like if I zoom out here, you'll see, actually, here, let's do this the fast way. So lots and lots and lots of them. I don't really care about all the historical ones. I care about right now and only right now. So let's just go ahead and make this only one bar. This is also more efficient for Sierra chart. It's only going to calculate on the current bar. That's what we want. So there we go. We've got price rejector at the low. That is a long signal, sort of. There's going to be something more to it, but we'll get to that in a bit. But this is the first component. We now know when we have a price rejector at the low. Let's see if we can get a price rejector at the high by some miracle. Let's connect to the data feed again. What time is it? Okay, we got 12 more minutes in this bar. Let's see if by chance we have a price rejector at the high. That would be a lovely, convenient bit of coincidence. Let's see if the market will oblige. Nope, of course not. We got UB at the high. All right, well, that's fine. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to fire up a replay. I'm just going to disconnect here and let's see if I can find one. That's technically one. It's a really crappy one, but you know what? I don't care. Crappy is fine. I just want it technically to be a price rejector. So this is the 10:30 bar of this morning. So we're going to go replay. We're going to go, today is what? 12:13, 13, 10:30 bar. And then we'll just let it form. Let's go at like, I don't know, 60 speed. And there we go. That should do. And I don't care about any of that. And actually, you know what? That reminds me. Hold on. Pause. Before I forget, because I already did forget. Oh, this is in the way. Hang on. Let me move this. Let's just get that. All I really care about is that I see that I'm connected or not. There we go. Turn on auto trading because we're going to need that later. Great. All right. So 10:30 bar is forming. There we go. Let's just let it rip till we get a price rejector. Let's see. That is price rejector right there. All right, great. We'll use that. Although we have one at the low as well, but that's fine. I don't really care. In fact, for the moment, let's just do this. Let's turn off entry signal long. There we go. So now we don't even see the one at the low. Yeah, the one at the low. Okay, so let's make our next price rejector. I'm just going to duplicate this code, copy and paste it, and it's the same thing but flipped on its head, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip all the AVAPs and BVAPs around. So we're just going to go B, A, B, A. Whoops, not S. A. SVAP is not a thing. Whoops. A. Oops, hang on. What am I doing? B, VAP. There we go. AVAP. AVAP and AVAP. Whoops. Hello. What am I doing here? That's supposed to be A. These are supposed to all be A. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? Excuse me. Gosh, what did I do wrong over here? Oh, no. Never mind. I did that right. I'm getting myself mixed up here. Yeah, AVAP. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I need to change the pluses to minuses, right? And the lows to highs. So the next thing I'll do is change the lows to the highs. Just do that because we're working off the high now, not the low. Same thing here. Oops. And there we go. And now we need to go minus instead of plus because we're subtracting ticks off the high instead of adding them to the low. So we'll go high minus tick size. Now the greater than symbols and everything, that stays the same because the relationship of the different numbers doesn't change. We still want, the one side higher than the other and, greater than the number below it, above it, whatever. But that should do the trick, I believe. Let's see if I missed anything. Let's see if I screwed up. We'll go into the entry signal short and Throw that in there, and we'll make this one. Well, actually, 1 bar will be fine because, well, you know what? I'll leave it on 20,000. Let's just see what we get. Yep, it looks like it's going to be there. It's just recalculating. There we go. We have our price rejector at the high. And again, let's go to 1 bar because all I care about is now. There we are. All right, we have our price rejector signals. We have price rejectors at the high of the bar, price rejectors at the low of the bar. Now, this study here is only going to be able to show one at a time, right? It can't show me a red background and a blue background simultaneously. So it's showing me the one that is below, right? Because Sierra chart draws things from the top down. So these are behind all the things down here. So if I wanted to see the long, if I wanted that to get priority, I can move it down in the list, right? And now I'll see the blue one. Now, fortunately for us, we don't care because this is not about visuals. This is just to feed it into a bot, and the bot will do the right thing. So I don't actually care that I can't see both of them here. That doesn't matter to me. Now, if I really wanted to, I could do this with, instead of color background based on, I could use a spreadsheet formula, and I could change, in that case, I could change the draw style to be like point on low, point on high, something like that, and then just see a dot at the top for a price rejector on that side and dot at the bottom for a price rejector on that side, that kind of thing. I happen to be using color background just because it's simpler. And again, I don't care about the visuals. This is not for me. This is for feeding into a bot. So the visuals are just so that I can sanity check my logic, the code that I whipped up over here, and make sure, is this even correct? And sure enough, I can see that, yes, it's correct. Cool. All right. So I've got my price rejectors. That's great. But I don't want to just enter the trade the moment a price rejector forms. That wouldn't make any sense, because let's say price goes up and up and up and up and makes a price rejector right here. I don't want to get short literally at the moment the price rejector is formed, because it'll always form a price rejector routinely as it's on its way up. It'll keep going price rejector, then UB, then price rejector, then UB, then and so you'll get wrecked. So what I want to do is I want to see it form the price rejector, then come down past the price rejector. So I want it to be 4 ticks or further away before we get in. So that is the plan. So price rejector exists, and we are at least here or lower. And then that way, then we would get short here for, let's just keep this really simple. Right now, we're going to make this a 1-tick drill scalper, right? It's going to go for a tick. That's it. So it's just going to trade every price rejector for a tick. That's what it's going to attempt to do. So to do that, let's see. Let's go ahead and go into the bot engine. We'll start with short because I have a short price rejector right now. Well, actually, I have both, but, or no, do I? Yeah, I do have both actually right now. We got price rejectors on both sides. That's right, because it was showing both colors. So we will go ahead and go with bot engine short. And the bot engine is a trading system based on alert condition study. Fantastic study, super, super useful for this kind of stuff. I don't want this to trade 8:31. I want to start right at 8:30. Not that it really matters, but there we go. All right, so our alert to enter a trade. Okay, this is what will trigger a trade entry. So we're going to need to look for a couple of things. Number one, is there a price rejector, right? Are we even in a valid situation to trade? And then number two, are we at least a certain number of ticks away? Now, there's 2 different ways I could handle this. I could leave this color for any price rejector. Every time there's a price rejector, we're going to get a flash of color. And then the bot will consider, is there a price rejector, and are we at least this many ticks from the extreme? The other way I could do it is to actually modify the signal code, the entry signal itself, the color, and add the price check here. I think I'm going to actually do that, because that way we get fewer flashes of colors. We're not just going to have colors all the time where there's no trade because we're not this many ticks off. We would get, as the price rejector is forming, right, as the bar is growing, we would get blinking, red on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. It'd be super obnoxious and annoying. So let's not do that. Let's actually do this. Let's go. Yeah, let's just do it this way. We're going to say the current price is less than the high of the bar minus, again, we're going to do the same thing here, tick size plus 2. So 3 ticks or more away. So that's going to be 1, 2, and it's got to be there. So it's 4 ticks away, rather, I should say, because it's the current price, it's the high level, rather, sorry, minus 2. And we need to be below that. So that's what we want. So there we go. I'll add a comma there. So anyway, now we've got our entry signals, and we have to be a certain amount off price for us to do anything. I've got all these other things in the framework for stops and targets and everything like that. We're not doing anything like that. We're going to keep this really simple. And in fact, I'm going to pop open my trade window here, and we're going to go, whoops, targets. There we go. Target is going to be 1 tick. Stop will be, actually, you know what? The stop I am going to move. So I'm going to start the stop at like, actually, let's go 50 ticks out. Whoops, not 500. We'll start the stop really far away. There's a reason for that. Here's what we're going to do. So for stop management, we are going to go ahead and use that. We're going to go to stop management for longs. And in particular, I want longs for their stop. I want them to use the low of the current bar, right? And it will actually be offset a tick, 1 tick. So it will go 1 tick beyond the low of the bar. So the low of the bar has to break, and that's our stop for longs. For our shorts, it's going to be the high of the bar, and it'll do the same thing. Has to break by a tick, and then presto, we're good. So let's see, and actually, let's make this close of the bar. Not that it really should matter, but it's the right thing to do. And close of the bar. There we go. Okay. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and do a test of this puppy. Let's see what we get. Let's go. We'll just pop open. Actually, here. Well, we'll use today. We'll go 0830, and we'll do a 60 is probably a little fast. We'll do a 30x replay. And well, there shouldn't be. Hang on. Let me make sure I don't have anything. It's over here. Hold on. Let's move this over here, and let's go to this is sim account 1. Let's find one I haven't used. I've used them all. I'm doing so many different things lately. Clear. There we go. And we will start today at 8:30. Do not clear. Well, I already cleared it, so whatever. Let's just go ahead. Hell with it. Let's do that. All right, let's see if this thing works. Whoops, it didn't start paused. Oh, hang on. Did I? Yeah, I turned on auto trading, right? Yeah, auto trading's turned on. All right, let's figure out what I have missed. I'm sure it's something silly, because it usually is. We're getting our signal. No, I know exactly. Okay, I knew it was something really silly. So yeah, I set up my entry signals, right? What didn't I do? I didn't actually put anything in the engine. So the engine is not doing anything. They're flashing pretty colors, but it's not doing anything. So duh. To get long, we need the entry signal long ID 12 to be true. So we'll just go ID 12.sg1. I like to do greater than 0. Hello. Greater than 0 rather than equals 1. Just paranoia on my part in case it's for some weird ass reason. There's a floating point thing that makes it not a true 1 or something silly. So we'll do greater than 0. And then this one needs to be short is ID 13. ID 13.sg1 less than 0. Or sorry. No. Greater than 0 also. Because if it's true, then it's greater than 0. So there we go. All right. That will do it. That's why I knew it was going to be something silly. Yep, there it goes. It's already trying to get in, and we're paused, so we don't want that. Let's go ahead and start that. We'll clear, and we will let it rip. Here we go, and there it goes. Zoom, and okay, something went wrong. However, we don't have our. I don't have use attached orders checked, so it's not using my bracket. Well, that would be a problem. Let's try this again. This is the joys of building a bot on the fly. So here we go. Let's try it again. And whoops, I wanted to start paused. Okay, let's try that again. Here we go. All right, now let's slow it down. 30 is obviously way too fast. Let's try a 5x. Okay, there it goes. It got short, right? Because we have a price rejector right here. So let's see if it gets it. And it did. Okay. And there's a long. It didn't get long. Why didn't it get long? Oh, because we weren't no, but now we are. Hang on. We still have a valid price rejector? We do. So we didn't get long. Why didn't we get long?
Tick size plus 2, isn't it?
Oh my God, not plus, times 2. Yeah. Thank you. I knew it was going to be something dumb. Oh my God. That means I probably did the same thing in here. Yep, I did -2 and it's times. I started just thinking above, below, plus, minus. Duh, brain fart. There we go. There's our signal. Okay, beautiful. I knew it was going to be something dumb. It always is. This is the life of a bot builder. I'm warning you now. This is your life. What am I doing? Let's start again. Play, clear trade. That's fine. Now we should be good. Let's let this go at 5x. Play. There's our first short. Actually, I think it got 2 there. Let's pop open our trades. There we go. It did. All right, boom, boom, boom. There we go. There's some losers. Now it's trying to get short, but now so it can't get long because it was already short. There we go. Now it's the longs aren't firing. Okay, hang on. So I still have something wrong. Oh no, there's a long. Okay, it must have just overlapped because we're playing at high speed. It overlapped with a short. I bet that's what it was. Let's actually just run it at real time. Let's try that again. Let's go. There we are. All right, there's our first short. What's going? Oh, whoops, because I am stretched out. What is happening? What the? Okay, my window manager's being dumb. All right, there we go. So we've had a few scalps here. There's some 1-tickers. Let's just let it go. I want to see a long happen because long has been the problem child here. And it should. There it is. Boom, it got a long. Okay, great. So it was just a high speed issue. And just things were happening faster than we could see them. So now, I do see a problem, however. Notice my stop. Where's my stop? It's way up here. Why is it way up there? It should be at the top of the bar. So I have a problem with my stop placement, and I think I know what it is. Stop management. Let's look at stop management short. No, I was wrong. Okay, hang on. Short, high of the bar. Oh, it's only adjusting on bar close. Okay, so I actually need to have it on every second. I thought I could get away with that on bar close, but actually, yeah, that won't work. Anyway, let's stop and start it again. Clear it. Run it again. This time we should see the stop place itself at the extreme of the bar. There it is. Boom. The stop has automatically placed itself 1 tick beyond the extreme of the bar. Beautiful. Now let's see what we get. Okay, getting a couple winners. 3 in a row. Do it. You can't lose. Lee, you said that not to do this. What are you talking about? This is great. Look at that. We got 4 in a row. You can't lose. This is a winning strategy. This is a 100% win rate. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? 5 in a row. Look at this. 6 in a row. Come on. Wah, wah. We just gave it all back. And more. Come on. Tick a tick higher. Go ahead. Nope. Actually got that one. Okay. We're back in profit. Woohoo. All right. So we see the logic is working. Actually, I haven't been checking on longs to see if the stop placement was working. Let's let it get another long, hopefully, and we can see if the stop placement is working. There, yep, the stop placement's working. Okay, so I am now comfortable in my logic, right? The logic is all doing what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to rev this up a bit. We'll go to 10x and just let it start trading like a maniac. So here we go. Trades are firing, yada, yada, yada. Let's go into statistics and just keep this open here so we can see it. So we have lost money. We are down $22. Our 1-tick scalp bot is losing money. Okay, let's even go faster. Let's go 30x. Here we go. All right. In fact, let's go 60x. And now, of course, it's getting harder for it to get trades because it's not getting towards the extremes, but there we go. Got a couple. All right. Hey, we're in profit. Woohoo, $28. Score. All right, let's go. There we go. Next bar. All right, now. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, look at it. Trading like a maniac. Look at it go. Scalping maniac. But now we've lost money again. Oh, now we're digging ourselves a nice hole. Look at that. See if we can crawl our way out of it. There it is. Okay. Well, $25 down still. Oh, we're almost to break even. No. We keep giving it back. We get almost out of break even. There we go. Okay, we're out from under the hole. Let's see if we can keep that up. There, my spotlight's back again. Oh, now we've dug ourselves a much bigger hole. Now things are getting ugly. All right, I'm going to speed this up some more. Let's go 120x. Really let it rip. There we go. Next bar. Now, see, look at the hole we're digging. So here you go. If this doesn't answer for you that fading every price rejector is a losing strategy, and it's a senseless strategy. I mean, obviously, this is just exhibit A. Price rejectors are not signals to do anything.
You know what could be funny, JVC, off this data set? Just keep all the logic the same, except it goes for a short rather than long, and vice versa.
Right, go the other direction. Yeah, sure. All right, you know what? Let's do that. That'll be fun. So we lost. We did the first. What did we do? We did till 11 a.m. We did through up to 11 a.m. We lost $450. Now let's see what happens. This will be hilarious. Let's go to sim account 2, and I'm going to flip the logic. So we're going to go 12 and 13. So whoops. So we're going to make this one be number 13. This one will be number 12. Actually, wait, will that work? Hold on. Yeah, that should work, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
You don't need to adjust your stops or anything. You're just saying.
Yeah, shouldn't have to do anything. Just flip around. Yeah,
whatever else going on. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That should work. All right, cool. This will be fun. This is a good suggestion, Lee. I'm glad you said that. This is going to be neat. All right, let's just let it rip.
This also defies logic.
Yes, it does completely. Yeah. This also shouldn't work, right? Like logically, this totally shouldn't work. Let's see. I've never tried it.
It's not going to actually, but we'll see.
I would. Yeah, I would totally expect this is not going to work. But let's see. I've never tried this, so let's find out. Here we go. 30x. Let's let it rip. It didn't clear. Hang on, or did it? Hold on. Didn't clear. Why didn't you clear? That's weird. Play. Clear all trades for symbol and account. Yeah. Okay.
I think you need to come out of that tab and go back in.
That's
also the
weird.
Trade activity logs on a different thread as well.
But I've never had this it's just not clearing it. That's Sim 2. That is weird. All right, well, whatever. I'm just going to clear it manually. Thank you, Sierra, for being weird. All right, whatever. We're good. All right, let's go. See what happens. Pop open the statistics. We start digging a hole immediately out of the gate. Yeah, we're digging a significant hole.
Because actually the first one had a reasonable win rate, but the problem was the loss size versus the win size.
Yep. Eventually, it's going to end up getting, it's going to get a run, right? Because that's what's going to happen. Any coin flips, whatever, you're going to get runs of all heads, runs of all tails, and so a system like this, you're going to get a run of 6 losses in a row, and if those 6 losses take 4 ticks, 1 full point each time, $50, $100, 150, 200. Yeah, and $8 and change at a time, $12 at a time to recoup from that is really hard.
Yeah, and this version's even worse because the stop's further away. Yeah.
Yep, you can see it right now. Look where the stop placement is because it's going to the extreme of the bar. So yeah, this version is gonna just get absolutely killed. Oh, the stop moved though because I'm adjusting every second. So yeah, this is obviously very ugly. But anyway, I think the point has been made, right? You don't do this. Price rejectors are not a signal to do anything. But it's a fun exercise. I encourage everyone to do it. As you can see here, even with a couple of little typos and stumbles along the way, we are 20, and I started a couple of minutes late. We're 20-ish minutes, 20 minutes and change in, and I have a fully functioning, workable bot that I can tweak from here. I could add stuff to this. I can add other order flow conditions. I could change it instead of a price rejector. Let's go unfinished business. Let's make it a price rejector only if the exhaustion is under, single digit exhaustion at the extreme, right? I don't want to do price rejectors where there's 65 contracts at the extreme. I don't like that. I want to do a price rejector where there's 9 or fewer contracts at the extreme, that kind of thing. This becomes super easy to just augment, tweak, to taste. Add other conditions as well. I will only do this on a 30-minute chart if we're above the mid for longs and below the mid for shorts, or certain times of day, only during B period, because I know the expectation is we're going to break one side or the other, and I want to be ready to capitalize on either direction. Stuff like that. There's just many myriads. So there's many myriads of possibilities here of things you can do, and the sky is the limit. But the key thing that I'm here today to really show off is this framework. This framework makes it just so easy to bang out bots. And, I'm literally showing it to you right here. I mean, anybody can pause the video. You're watching the recording later, and see what I've done. These are all just stock formulas. The secret sauce, if you will, and it's not a secret, but whatever. The sauce that I'm going to be going over in the course and teaching in the course is walking through, number one, how to build this thing from scratch. We're going to actually build the whole framework from zero. Every single setting, every single configuration, everything pointing to the right things, et cetera. Talk about the differences between, we have cat stop signals here. We have profit stops, targets, target management, stop management. I've got this little dashboard down here. Notice this: closed P&L, daily P&L, open P&L, position, average price. All of this stuff is all in there. And it's just a single study collection. You drop it in, bam, and off you go. And so now that I have this framework, I can go from idea. I can, be in the shower and have some crazy idea, or wake up out of a dead sleep and suddenly think, oh my God, wait a minute. What about X? I wonder is there an edge there? And I can just run in here and I can whip up a bot in 10 minutes and run it and find out. And I can start collecting data. And of course, that's the whole next step is, okay, great. I've got all this data here. I've got all these statistics and whatever. What do I do with it? I can look at period stats, and we didn't run it that long, but I can look at the half hour of the day and get an idea of like, okay, am I better off trading a particular half hour? Like, in the previous one we did, I could see that, okay, overall I made money, not a lot, but I made money trading only the first half hour. And then I just got killed after that. So what happens if I run a bot like this over a year that trades only in the first 30 minutes? Because I figure, there's some logic to that, right? If you think about it, the first 30 minutes, price discovery, we tend to push the range and then come back in. So if we push the range with a price rejector and then come back in, odds are decent that we can grab a tick. So there's some logic to that. It's still, in my opinion, not a great system by itself, but it's viable. You could augment it, you could tweak it, you can adjust it and make differences in the order flow, have it look for certain things, position of min, max, delta. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. But it starts from having this framework, just drop it in and go. Let's see, Alfredo, I'm going to share the chart. Do you mean this one? You want this chart? I could share it, but I'm not going to share it with the framework, because obviously the framework we're going to build in the class, and I don't want people picking it apart and messing around with it and thinking they understand what's going on until I've given the class and actually taught everybody, here's what it is, here's how all the pieces work. So I won't share this, what I've got right here with the framework on it. But if you just want, my numbers bars study, I can certainly share the study collection for that. But in the class, yes, absolutely. And, for those of you who, if you by chance don't know, if you're in TRG, and I know some of you are already booked on, so obviously you already know this, but if you're in TRG and you're a current active TRG member, there's TRG pricing for the course in the, what do you call this thing? The pit. That's the word, in the pit. There's also for non-TRG members, there's the early bird pricing, which is still good until the 18th. So yeah, this was a demonstration, to show two things. Number one, why price rejectors are not a trading signal. Because it still comes up, that comes up every time there's a new person. At some point, they discover price rejector and they go, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the holy grail. And no, it's not a signal. It doesn't tell you to do anything. It's just information. But then number two, also, I wanted to show you guys, this is the framework that we're going to be building, and this is how you can use it. And this is how easy it is to whip up a bot. Even with, I made several dumb typo mistakes in this that cost me, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. It still was a 20-minute process. So yeah. This is really, really super useful, and it's not that hard to understand. And once you have it, again, it's a study collection. I can just build a whole new bot by just going up to where's the analysis window? Oh, it's behind here. I can't see it. Just go analysis, wJVC bot framework, drop it on a chart, boom, make a few edits, off I go. It's that simple. So yeah, that's everybody, Alex. Everybody, we all start there. And this is why, going back God, whatever it's been now, 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, something like that, whatever. This is why I did this exercise. Is because I knew, Lee said it's not a price rejector. I mean, that price rejector is not a signal. And I philosophically, I understood that it shouldn't be, but there was that holy grail thinking. There was that nagging voice in the back of my mind that was like, yeah, but couldn't it be? Why couldn't it be a signal? I mean, it seems pretty good. You should be able to at least grab a tick, right? I mean, what's the problem? And so I did this. I went and coded a trade first I did it manually. I just sat here with my hotkeys and I just did a bunch of replays and I tried it manually and just trading every single price rejector and fading it every single time. And obviously I got killed, but then it was like, well, that's just me. I'm making mistakes. I'm late. I'm slow, whatever. So I automated it. And the automation just proved the same exact damn thing. It verified for me for sure, definitively. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, this is not by itself a signal to do anything. It's just some information about the order flow at that moment in time at that price. Great. I get it now. And that's another big component for me about this class that is so valuable is I'm hopeful that some people who are still stuck in this kind of TA trading signals mindset will go through this process and in so doing finally shake that, and they will see how definitively, no argument at all, these things they don't work. Because, and I'm being really honest about this, the systems we're going to build in this class lose money. Now, I can easily go back and cherry pick some data. I could cherry pick a month. I could cherry pick a year. I've been able to run these on a year's worth of data and they make money. But then you run them on a different year and they get killed brutally. These systems don't make money. But it's so easy to cherry pick data that looks good that if you're, an unscrupulous furu and you want to sell people and, get a bunch of money out of them, it's trivial to do. So I'm hopeful that I can maybe help to get some people who are still stuck in search for the Holy Grail mode to see that, like, okay, yeah, I'm comfortable letting go of that now. This really, truly is not a thing, and I don't ever need to feel tempted by it ever again. And that's what it did for me. So hoping it can do it for some others as well. All right. So that is our hour. I think this has accomplished what I set out to do. I built the bot and it works, and, quote unquote, it works. It does what it was designed to do, which is something that is crap, but it does it. Proper strategies for the current market plus a good bot equals money. Absolutely. And, getting to a good bot is less hard than I think people think. It's not easy. I'm not going to go out there and say like, oh, anybody can just bang out something that prints money. It's so easy. No, it's not. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of understanding what's going on, but it's not hard either. It's just work. Once you understand the component pieces and all the different parts that go into this kind of thing, it's time consuming. It's just work. It's just effort, but it's not hard. It's just, you got to be willing to put in the effort, build the bot, test it a lot. Ooh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Build the bot, test it a lot, and then see what you got. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I am so going to use that. I need to turn that into a haiku. Build the bot, test it a lot, see what you got. Trademark that. Beautiful. But I mean, people are always getting lazier. I swear it's true. I'm running a bot right now that is in the testing. Well, it's beyond testing phase. I ran it on replays. I did tons of replays and I saw that, okay, this has potential. Let's run it for real now. So I'm running it in a PA account. I have 3 PAs left over from a while ago that I actually didn't realize I still had. I thought they were dead. And then I discovered a few weeks back that, like, oh my God, these PAs are still sitting here. Holy crap. And each one has about $100 left in it. So I thought, okay, perfect. These are my bot testing grounds. I'm trading micros. I'm going for 5% a day, 5% a day on my $100, compounding daily. And so far it's, I'm in the 3rd week now. This is week 3, and every day has been a winner. And the bot is working beautifully because it's a very clearly defined bot that is going for a very clear, reasonable target. It's not trying to make me a fortune. It's going, 5% a day. And, 5% a day doesn't sound like it's anything, especially 5% a day on $100, right? Like, who's going to get excited about 5% per day on $100? But I want you to consider something. And now I'm trying to find this link that I had handy, and now I can't find it. Where did it go? Dang it. Hold on. I want to find. Oh, go away. There it is. I'm going to share this link with you guys because this is a fun little calculator to play with. Play around with this. Oh, God, yeah. A hedge fund at 5% a day. Are you kidding me? They would go nuts. But, 5% a day, you're not going to get 5% a day on $400 million, right? That's a whole different world. But 5% a day on $100, it sounds like peanuts, right? But seriously, play with this little calculator that I just shared in the chat and see what 5% a day on $100 turns into. Compounding, of course. And compounding is the key, right? Without compounding, it's not really anything. David, I want a bot where it can't trade anymore because of the immense size of the volume needed. Yeah, well, and frankly, not that it wouldn't be able to trade anymore, but what I build into my bots is I build dynamic position sizing in, and it's based on risk. And so there is a point where it will max out. Like, let's say if I'm trading micros, maybe it's limited up to 30 micros, right? Or a 3-lot in the mini. And yeah, it will hit that wall where it's maxed out. It's at 30 every single day, 30 micros, 30 micros, 30 micros, 30, and it can't go anymore because the dynamic position sizing won't let it. And I think that's wise because you can't scale infinitely, right? Realistically, you can't, infinite scale is just not a thing. And the nice thing is about this kind of approach, there's a lot of nice things about it, but one of the nice things about this kind of approach is that, especially if you're using something like dynamic position sizing, if you're using Lee's expectancy calculations, if you're using all this kind of stuff and you're working it into a bot, once the bot gets beyond a certain P&L level, it actually becomes, I guess, tactically not impossible, but extremely statistically unlikely for it to ever go underwater again. If it can just survive long enough to get to that point. Because there's a point where your dynamic risk calculation and position sizing will always be such that any loss is going to be well within the actual profitable P&L that you've generated in the account. So unless you got a run of 25 losers in a row or something, which, from your back testing and data and everything, you should be able to have data that says, yeah, that is statistically, that's like a 400 standard deviation away from being able to happen. Like, I ran this on 2 years of data and the most number of losers in a row it ever had was 4, that kind of thing. So it becomes statistically, okay, technically not impossible, but so unlikely that could happen that you basically don't have to worry anymore and you just let the thing do what it does. So we'll be covering position sizing in the course. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to go into how to do it, what all the calculations are, because we did that in Lee's card counting class in quite some depth. So I'll make reference to it, but it's not a key component of what we're going to be doing in this class. This class is just going to be talking about, here's the framework, here's how you build the framework, here's what all the pieces of the framework do, here's why they are set up the way they are set up, and then here are the 6 different systems that we're going to build. And, we're going to do 2 versions of each system because we're going to do a high frequency version and a low frequency version. And in fact, on that note, so we'll wrap up here, but I'll leave you with this one final thing. If you wanted to do a high frequency version of this bot, like literally all you got to do, because it's based on the bar, right, is change it to a 5-minute bar. And now just for giggles, let's go ahead and what are we on? We're on Sim 2. Let's run it again. I'll stop it. Now let's see what it does on a 5-minute bar. This is going to be stupid. Let's see. Did it clear? No, it didn't do it again. What is up with that? That is weird. There's something really wrong with Sierra at the moment on my install. I don't know what it is, but there's something wacky. Whoops. And I got to flip this around. I don't want my reversed logic. This would be ID 12. This would be ID 13. Let's put these back. Okay, so now let's see what this dumb thing does on a 5-minute chart. Just for total giggles. Oops, I cleared the wrong one. Oh, well, that's okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Here it is. Okay, it actually looks like it did clear. Good. All right, so here it goes. It's trading on a 5-minute chart now. And this thing is just bananas. Totally bonkers. It's going to just trade like a maniac. All right, so while that's running, let's see. Once you get to a certain size, the automation games are about traded volume versus your planned size versus liquidity. You start to play the book. Yeah, absolutely. If you can ever get that big, Lee's point is spot on. Now that's quite big. I personally kind of doubt I would ever have a bot that's trading, 50 lots or something that's like really big enough to move the book around. I would be very happy trading a 3 lot of minis, like really happy. That would be phenomenal, getting to the point where I can trade a 3 lot of minis. I would be just super, super happy about that. But yeah, not a price rejector is a big one for sure. And that's one of the other great things about once you've built a bot like this, like right now, if I wanted to, I could save this bot. I could just save this bot out as a study collection. And this would now be a trade every price rejector bot, fade every price rejector bot. If I want to change this and turn it into a capture the resolution of every unfinished business bot, that becomes trivial to do. And then I just got to put this on a Globex session, 1439-minute footprint. And now I've got a grab the resolution of every UB bot, or every not a price rejector bot, or every holdback bar price rejector, or not a price rejector, or UB, or whatever. It becomes trivial to just make slight modifications. You've built it once, and then you just make tweaks each time. And so the efficiency boost in doing this way, working this way, is just ridiculous. I really can't overstate that. So Lee, David wants to get too big for his britches and push the book around. Yeah, do you want to talk about this, or
is this a rabbit hole? Let's imagine we've got not a price rejector, and the shortfall is 68 contracts at whatever the resolving price is, and the queue at the moment in time where you spot it is 30 contracts. You could, notwithstanding that what's in the book ahead of you might be an iceberg, hidden quantity, whatever, you could stuff the queue with the remaining 38 contracts to make up the remaining shortfall. And then what your bot has got to monitor is, once you're at the front of the queue, once 30 have traded incrementally from what's there, are you getting fills? If not, there's an iceberg in front of you. So you've got to take action. But, if you're able to trade the size, you could be all of the trading volume that resolves the not a price rejector.
And that is definitely, if you've got this, the bankroll, if you've got the account size to be able to do that kind of thing, and especially you park your bot at a server in Chicago, a millisecond off the exchange, that kind of stuff, that becomes really cool. Or
if you're doing a 300K eval.
Yeah, oh, exactly. And in fact, you've even got an added advantage with the eval in that you're not actually pushing the market around at all. So you're going to get the fill. If the liquidity is there, you're going to get it. No partial fills.
This has nothing to do with HFT learning. This is just, simple maths on not a price rejector versus the queue size at the resolving price.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, thanks, everybody. That was fun. We achieved our goal, and my silly bot is... Oh, that's weird. It stopped. Oh, because we're caught up to real time. That's why. So we've hit the end of the data. So there you go. So yeah, we've accomplished what I want to set out to do today. Those of you who are enrolled in the class already, I look forward to it. We'll see you starting January 3rd, I think it is, if memory serves. I believe it's January 3rd, January sometime. And I'm going to be talking some more about it tomorrow. Doing my session at the close tomorrow, where I'm going to dive a bit. It's a sales pitch, but we're going to talk about some of the concepts around this and dive a little bit further into reasons why people might want to consider automating and talk more about what we're going to do on the course and that kind of stuff. So if any of you are around at the close tomorrow and you want to come hang out with me and talk about that, listen to me jabber, that'll be cool. And those of you who are yet to join the course, I look forward to having you on it. And of course, if you've got any questions about it at all, whatever, message me in the pit. I am happy to answer whatever you would like to know about it. So Any other questions? Call this Burning Desires, and then we will all go our separate ways and enjoy the rest of our Wednesday. Absolutely, gang. You are very welcome. All right, gang. Talk to you later.